Hello, my dear students. Today we're going to see about the poem called Solitary Reaper. I am Mrs. Praisy Joel, Department of English. This poem is written by William Wordsworth. This poem is about written on 5th November and published at 1807 in two volumes. It was written in 8 stanza that it has a rhyming scheme of iambic tetrameter, 4 stressed and unstressed syllable. The rhyme scheme is A, B, C, B, D, D, E, E or A, B, A, B, C, C, D, D. So this is about a short definition of the poem. Here we're going to see about the detail of the poem. This poem is based on the experience of a person. Here Wordsworth inspired by the work of Thomas Williamson, the tours to the British mountain. Here the Wordsworth get inspired by a female reaper who sings alone in a Gaelic language that is known as a Scottish language. The human voice is very sweet, but it has a feel of melancholy in it. Melancholy represents sadness. They were heard no more, quoted in the Northern Anthology English Literature. Here he speaks about the fadeness of the music. So, summary of the poem. The poem is in first person. It classified as pastoral, describing a scene from country life. The poem is known or dominated in one figure that a single girl stands in a highland and harvesting by herself and singing a melancholy song. The poet is mesmerized by the song, so he cannot move a step away from the song. The central idea that deeps into the poem is melancholy and the feeling of joy and happiness the reaper expressed through the song. So this summary, very short summary, explains about what was there in the poem. Let's get the detail in the poem lines. The poem, behold her single in the field, yon solitary highland glass. This says about the girl who's standing single in the field, that is a cotton field. Here lass represent maiden and young girl, whereas yon represent wander. Wander means someone walking or staying in a long distance place. So that kind of a distance oriented person were called as yon. So behold her single in the field. Here it represents the girl is standing alone. Yon solitary highland lass. Alone she cuts and binds the grain and sing a melancholy strain. Strain is meaning of fruit of cereal grass. Melancholy means sad, as I have already said. Strain is also represent tone or music or the tune of the song. The fourth time sense of loneliness is attached to the whole scene. It gives the impression that the girl is removed from our world. So she seems to be a lonely figure in the world, which represents she is alone in the world. In these lines, her next chorus are mentioned. She has cut the grain and is now binding the grain. So she is cutting, that is reaping the grain and binding it. Okay. Second stanza, whole listen for the wail profound is overflowing with the sound. The wail profound, that represents the deep valley which is overflowing. That means it is reverberating or resounding. Wordsworth in this stanza speaks about the song of the girl who is singing by herself. That song is filled through the valley into the deep valley and fills the whole valley in with her sweet song. So there is a sense of joy and respect for the girl. And her song in Wordsworth remark, oh listen. So here, oh listen is an expression, says how beautiful the song is. The third stanza, no nightingale did ever chant more welcome notes to weary bands of travelers in some shady haunt among Arabian sand. Here chant represent a simple melody or a song that we used to say like a kind of song which has some kind of a heavy feel in it. The notes represent the musical notations. Weary band represent the group of travelers who used to travel through the desert Okay, and shady hunters represent the desert and the paradise for travelers of desert with dates, trees, water, and birds. Oasis is a place where the travelers in the desert takes rest. So that was mentioned here. So the song of the girl was compared with the song of nightingale. We all know nightingale's voice seems to be the most beautiful bird song that is compared with the beautiness of the girl's lonely melody. The third stanza, Wordsworth compares the nightingale's song and its musical quality with the nightingale's song. He feels that the maiden's song even surpasses the song of nightingale as it is heard in the Arabian desert by the tired travelers. Nightingale but bird is so called because it sings at night as well as during the day. It means night long stress. The bird is famous for its song. Its song is loud and louder when in urban environment in order to overcome the background noise. So nightingale the nightingale is always represent to mention someone have a sweet voice. Here the poet mentions nightingale because nightingale's voice is so sweet, so such kind of sweetness is found in the song of the solitary reaper, and he compares the beauty of that bird's song. In the fourth stanza, we'll see about a voice so thrilling never was heard in springtime from the cuckoo bird, breaking the silence of the sea among the forest herbreeds. Thrilling means causing intense excitement and pressure. Cuckoo bird is a solitary bird that seldom occur in pairs, generally known as a shy bird and more often heard than seen. We all have heard the cuckoo sound each and every day in our life. So we might hear the sound, but the resemblance of the bird or its physical appearance is very rare. So such kind of beautiness and the picturization is mentioned in this poetry also. Whenever the sound of the song is here, they feel thrilled about the song and the situation, and that kind of thrill is filled the same in the cuckoo bird. That kind of the thing was reflected in the song of the solitary reaper. So here the poet feels thrilling effort from the song of solitary reaper. Fourth stanza, cuckoos call in Europe is regarded as the first harbinger of spring. So when a spring starts to bloom, the first indication is that the cuckoo's sound or cuckoo's voice. Hebrides or the furthest island of the mainland Scotland. In these lines, Wordsworth is comparing the song of Scottish maiden to the song of cuckoo bird. How we can say she's a Scottish maiden because she is singing a song in a language of Gaelic. Gaelic is a Scottish song. It's breaking the silence of the sea in the Hebrides. Hebrides means is an island that's located in the sea. That silence of the Hebrides is broken by the song of the solitary reaper. The song of the cuckoo bird is associated with the return of life, vitality, and spring after the harsh winter. The song of cuckoo is always represented as a start for a new thing or blooming of something. So such blooming of happiness is shown in the song of this solitary reaper. The fifth stanza says, "Will no one tell me what she sings? Perhaps the plaintive number flow for old, unhappy, far off things and battle long ago." Plaintive number refers to the sad music of the song. Wordsworth here wants to know the content of the song she is singing. So as Wordsworth heard the song, he could enjoy the song, he could listen the beauty of the song, but he also got disturbed by the feeling that filled in the song. He wants to know why this solitary reaper sings such a heavy song which contains the feeling of melancholy. So that question arises in him and he wants someone to explain it. He makes guesses as he cannot understand it. So in the sixth stanza, or it is some more humble lay, familiar matter today, some flow natural sorrow, loss or pain that has been may be gain. Humble lay means a sad song. Wordsworth wonder again what the song may be about and connect the past, present and future. Emphasizes is again on pain and loss. Again he question about the song and he feels that he doesn't know what is the meaning, why this song is so rich with melancholy feeling, but still he could understand the song contained a pain and a loss that the girl undergo in her life. That kind of a solitariness also related with that melancholy song. So that solitary, that loneliness is reflected in the song. That loneliness of the solitary reaper shows the pain, reflects her pain and her loss in the song, which she sings. So that is why it seems to have a humble lay. So very sad song, very humble lay. So to he could not resist to know what happening in the life of that girl, and he also wants to learn more about the song and about the solitary reaper. But how? That would be impossible for him as he is a travel by or passerby, so he could not get to know more about the girl. The seventh stanza, whatever the theme the maiden sang, as if her song could have no ending. I saw her singing at work and over the sickle blending. Sickle is an instrument to cut grass, a curved blade. Wordsworth emphasized the beauty of the song and its power to lure the song appears not to have an ending. So, as he had a deep question about why the girl sings such a melancholy song, later he just leave that kind of a thing and started to enjoy the music, and he just decided how the girl sings so beautifully and having doing a work that she is reaping the field. So by reaping the field with an instrument of sickle, it's a bend shaped blade, a curve shaped blade, which she uses to reap the field. While reaping the field itself, she's singing at her work. We all have experience in village sites. Many reapers used to sing in order to get away from the tiredness of the work. That has been reflected in this poem. In eighth stanza, I listened at motionless and still, and as I mounted up the hill, the music in my heart I bore. Long after it was heard no more. Words were described to effect of the song on him. First, he stood motionless and still, entranced by the beauty of it. He moved away but carried it in his heart. So as he continuously hears the song, he is very much lured. Lured means attracted. He very much lured by the song, but he doesn't want to move. He want to stay there and he want to listen the whole song until the girl stops it. But still he has many duties to do. So he wants to move away. So suddenly he breaks the stillness and started to move away. While he was moving, the song is slowly fading out, but the song's heaviness staying back in the heart of the poet. So Wordsworth, though he started to lose the started to unhear the voice of that solitary reaper, still he bores the song in his heart. The scene is described both in the present moment and the general analysis of the poem. The language of the poem is simple and close to the language of common people. The setting of the poem is rustic and emphasis in on the girl's isolation from the world. So here the general analysis is given about the poem. The general analysis is that first he speaks about the language in the poem. It is very simple and close. Even students of any schooling can read the poem and understand the meaning of it, and it's a language of common people. Anybody can read the poem, anybody can get the meaning of the poem. So the language seems to be very simple, whereas the setting is so seems to be like something vintage or something that is more heavy hearted or old. and emphasizes on the girl's isolation from the world. Here, the poem mainly concentrates not